Hey everyone, Liam from Push Square here, and look, I get it. Since the launch of the PlayStation 5, its release schedule has been so empty, it makes the PlayStation Vita's library look substantial in comparison. Stuck at home with nothing to play, I expect you've all been forced to do the unthinkable, the one thing no one ever wants to actually do, no matter how many times they promise they will. You've been playing titles from your backlog. Ugh, look, there's no shame in it. We've all been there. It's a cold Saturday night, you're all caught up on WandaVision, and you've got absolutely nothing to do. So you get up, look at your shelf, and decide that now is the perfect time to finally play through Body Count on the PlayStation 3. It's either that, or attempt to process that it's March again. Well, before you put that disc into your console, maybe sit back and watch the rest of this video. I mean it. Park it, buddy. Retention helps the channel. There are a number of great games launching across the PlayStation family of systems in March that are worth keeping an eye on. From MAQUETTE to It Takes Two, these are 11 great games releasing in March 2021. Let's get going. Launching on the 2nd of March for both the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, MAQUETTE is a first-person puzzle game with a wholly unique twist. Basically, the entire game is recursive. The world you occupy, consisting of disparate fantasy locations linked together, exists within a larger identical world that in turn exists within a larger identical world, and so on and so forth. Think Russian dolls. Within your world is a smaller, identical version of your own. Making changes to that world, such as picking up a tiny cube before placing it somewhere else, is reflected within your own. For instance, dropping that tiny cube would see an appropriately sized one move in your location as well. Confused? Yeah, not surprised. This one is pretty hard to explain. I'm kinda hoping the background footage will do most of the heavy lifting. Combining elements from Portal and The Witness, MAQUETTE looks super interesting. It's set to deliver an emotionally charged narrative about love, loss and acceptance, with performances by real-life couple Bryce Dallas Howard and Seth Gable. MAQUETTE looks very interesting indeed. Best of all, the PlayStation 5 version of the game is included as part of your PlayStation Plus subscription for March. We can't wait to see what kind of brain teasers developer Graceful Decay have in store for us. Graceful Decay is such a cool name for a developer. YAKUZA 7 arrives for the PlayStation 5 on the 2nd of March. Already available on the PlayStation 4, YAKUZA Team's bonkers soft reboot of the series trades action combat for that of a traditional turn-based RPG. New protagonist, Ichiban Kasuga, a low-ranking member of a YAKUZA family, finishes his 18-year prison sentence to discover that his family has been destroyed. Seeking revenge, Kasuga recruits a bunch of middle-aged weirdos to take it in turns battering baddies on the streets of Yokohama. Featuring series staples such as a bunch of minigames and over 50 side stories to complete, YAKUZA 7 is a thrilling JRPG like no other. This next-gen version runs at a smooth 60 frames per second, and PlayStation 4 owners can upgrade their copies for free. Poor Sir Lovelot. This tiny little pixelated knight just wants a smooch from a princess, but before he can pucker up, the little lad has to collect a number of gifts for his potential bears by completing 40 highly challenging platforming levels. We've all been there, right? Jumping over pits filled with spikes, stabbing big snakes, and avoiding huge boulders just to end up taking a lass to a Pizza Hut and never getting a second date? No? Just me? Alright. Evoking both Super Meat Boy and Celeste, Sir Lovelot launches on both the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4 on the 3rd of March. Hey, do you hate spiders? Have you ever wanted to shoot a spider with a gun? Then do I have a game for you. Kill It With Fire, a game all about murdering God's 8-legged mistakes, arrives for the PlayStation 4 on the 4th of March. Your aim is to hunt down a bunch of creepy crawlies lurking within a number of different locations before destroying them in the most ridiculous ways possible. A frying pan, a revolver, an RPG, featuring destructible environments and a realistic fire model which sees flames spread throughout a level like you'd expect them to. Kill It With Fire is a comedy sandbox game that encourages you to find the most creative ways of destroying those pesky arachnids. Fun for the whole family, if your whole family has vowed to murder every spider on the planet, that is. Everyone's favourite video game character that we all definitely remembered before this was announced the other week, we promise, Stubbs the Zombie shuffles onto the PlayStation 4 on the 16th of March. Originally released on the Xbox and PC all the way back in 2005, Stubbs the Zombie in Rebel Without a Pulse is making a comeback. Stubbs the Zombie allows you to play as a smartly dressed member of the undead, snacking on brains and possessing the citizens of small-town Americana. Leaning heavily on tropes and imagery from the 1950s, Stubbs the Zombie is an oddity that may just be worth revisiting. Although I will maintain, the fact this is getting a surprise re-release is absolutely baffling. I didn't have a Stubbs the Zombie re-release on my 2021 bingo card, but I'm still pleased to see him back regardless. MUNDAUN is a first-person horror tale coming to the PlayStation 4 on the 16th of March. Following the death of their grandfather, the player takes a trip to the Swiss Alps in order to uncover the source of a sinister force that resides at the peak of MUNDAUN Mountain. Featuring a striking grayscale visual style that's been entirely hand-drawn using pencil, MUNDAUN tasks you with exploring the mysterious mountain, solving puzzles and interacting with bizarre citizens who speak in their own language along the way. It looks deeply unsettling, one to watch for any fans of indie horror experiences. Marvel's Avengers' long-awaited PlayStation 5 update arrives on the 18th of March. This native PlayStation 5 version of the game includes two graphical modes, allowing players to swap between a performance mode that prioritises 60 frames per second and a graphics mode that supports a true 4K resolution, alongside the usual gubbins such as faster loading times, 3D audio and haptic feedback. PlayStation 4 owners can upgrade their copies of the game for free, either digitally or using the original disc. Marvel's Avengers failed to make much of an impact upon its original release last September. A strong single-player campaign was bogged down by a tedious loot system, bland multiplayer, and egregious microtransactions. Still, the game continues to show promise, with developer Crystal Dynamics planning to support Avengers with additional characters such as Hawkeye and Spider-Man throughout the year. Also, the upgrade's free innit, so worth a try if you bought it last year. Minute of Islands is a narrative-driven puzzle platformer coming to the PlayStation 4 on the 18th of March. Taking place within a collection of islands once inhabited by a race of giants, protagonist Mo sets out on a quest to restore their machines using a tool known as the Omni Switch. Bearing resemblance to cartoons such as Adventure Time, Minute of Islands combines colourful visuals with disturbing imagery. Every scene includes an element that feels out of place in a game that looks like this, such as bloated whale carcasses, Lovecraftian machinery, and post-apocalyptic structures constructed from scrap iron and wood. This looks absolutely wonderful. I personally can't wait to try this out. What does this get? Liam's pick of the month? Why not? Liam's pick of the month. He hasn't played it, but he likes what he sees. Uh-oh. BALAN WONDERWORLD comes to both the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4 on the 26th of March. The latest game by Sonic creator Yuji Naka, BALAN Wonderland, nope, it's called BALAN Wonderworld, I keep saying Wonderland, I don't know why, is a 3D platformer set within 12 surreal worlds. Players can wear over 80 different costumes, each one coming with their own unique power-ups. The demo of BALAN Wonderworld that was released earlier this year was received poorly. In our preview, we said that the game feels like a bizarre mishmash of ideas that doesn't quite come together. A colourful 3D platformer by the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog sounds like a dream game. Hopefully, BALAN Wonderland Wonderworld's full release doesn't end up a total nightmare. It Takes Two is the latest game by A Way Out developers Hazelight, coming to both the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4 on the 26th of March. When couple Cody and May decide to call their relationship quits, they find themselves transformed into dolls after their daughter performs a mysterious spell. The game is purely co-op and can be played entirely in split screen or online with a friend via the game's Friend Pass system, where only one person needs to purchase the game game for two people to enjoy it together. Reflecting the issues Cody and May face in their relationship with gameplay that introduces fresh mechanics with every level, It Takes Two looks like another inventive cooperative adventure from the studio dedicated to keeping this specific genre alive. It looks beautiful as well. With the two main characters shrunk down to the size of dolls, the game allows you to view the world from an entirely new perspective. Potentially the perfect game to play if you fancy connecting with a long-distance pal or someone you live with. Space station management sim SPACEBASE STARTOPIA is available for boarding on both the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4 on the 26th of March. A sequel to 2001's cult classic Startopia, SPACEBASE allows you to build and manage an intergalactic space station, constructing 3 levels in order to keep the various life forms visiting your creation happy. Handled by Dungeons developer Realmforge Studios, SPACEBASE Startopia looks set to bring a sci-fi twist on classic management games such as 2 Point Hospital and Dungeon Keeper. The game will feature 10 campaign missions, competitive and co-op multiplayer modes, and a sandbox feature that will let you build to your heart's content without the immediate threat of being blown up. It's definitely one to watch. Hello, welcome to the end of the video. What will you be playing in March? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider giving it a like and make sure to subscribe to Push Square for everything PlayStation. Thank you, as always, for watching.